Good morning, America. Today is Friday, the 6th of April. And we're going to start off with some sound sayings. The first one is coming from Matthew 28, verse 20, and it says, "Lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world." I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. The back's coming from Matthew also 5 verse 8, and it says, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. We're going to be reading from Numbers again. We're still in Numbers. Numbers 22. The characters here are Balaam and Balak. Balaam and Balak. Balak can be spelled B-A-L-A-K or B-A-L-A-C. His name means empty. He is a Moabite king in Numbers 22:4. He is also the son of Zippor in Numbers 22:4. He hired Balaam to curse Israel in Numbers 22, which we will be reading today. A little information about Balaam. His name means destroyer of the people. That's what his name means. He is the son of Beor in Numbers 22:5. He is from Mesopotamia, which is in Deuteronomy 23:4. Mesopotamia is a country between two rivers, Tigris and Euphrates River. This river is above Armenia, and Mesopotamia is above Armenia, and it is below Armenia, and it is above Arabia. Below Armenia, above Arabia. And Mesopotamia comes in between the two, and it's also in between the two rivers called Tigris and Euphrates. All right. A little bit more about Balaam. He is from Mesopotamia. Also, from that same country came Abram or Abraham's. That was his native home in Acts 7. It was also the place of Laban's household in Genesis 24. I'm not going to tell you the verses, but the chapter is good enough. If you like, you can read it on your own. Balaam also comes from Mesopotamia, and Israel is enslaved there for a while in Judges 3:8. A little bit more information about Balaam is that he is a soothsayer. Initially, in Joshua 13:22, Balaam, also the son of Beor, the soothsayer, did the children of Israel slay with the sword among them that were slain by them. A soothsayer is a diviner, a fortune teller, and these diviners and fortune tellers in the biblical time were practiced by the Palestinians. They were practiced by the Babylonians. They were practiced by the Philippines. The soothsayers were unable to interpret anything relating to God. They did not have the ability to interpret. In Daniel 4, it was forbidden to be a soothsayer, a fortune teller in Israel in Micah 5. And he was also a prophet, a false prophet. And he is mentioned in 2 Peter chapter 2. In 2 Peter chapter 2:15, I will read that to you. It pertains to Balaam, which had forsaken the right way and has gone astray, following the way of Balaam the son of Bozor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness. So he was a false prophet if he loves the wages of unrighteousness. He 2 Peter 2:16 also says, but was rebuked by his iniquity. The dumbass, speaking with man's voice, forbid the madness of the prophet. He was a mad dog indeed. Anytime you sit there and you have a conversation or an argument with a donkey and not questioning the fact that the donkey is speaking to you, he just sat there and argued with that donkey like you were arguing with a person. Madness. Okay? The one good thing that he did do was he prophesied about our Lord, the Messiah, in his final message in Numbers 24, 14 to 19. The nature of Balaam, he was unrighteousness and greed, and that is in 2 Peter also 14 and 15. I read 15 to you. I did not read 14. He had errors and he was rebellious, and that is written in Jude 11. Okay, that is all we're going to share with you about the two characters in this story that we're reading today. In Numbers 22, I'm going to pull my Rainbow Bible ahead of everything else. We have 41 verses in this chapter, and it starts off with silver for history, and it goes into black for sin, brown for Satan, and then it has a significant amount of red for discipleship, and a sufficient amount of blue for salvation, and then it goes back to, it continues with blue for salvation. We have some orange here for your faith, and we have a couple verses of uppercase lettering, which is the big bold letterings, and that is in verse 20 and in verse 35. Those are the two verses that have uppercase lettering in it. We will not cover the entire 41 verses today. We will get half of them today. Most of them today. We will stop at verse 25. And as usual, I will be flip-flopping from my Bible to the New International Bible for the sake of making sure that my listeners are comprehending that which is being said or read to them. So let's begin. In chapter 22, Balak sends for Balaam to curse Israel. Balaam encounters his speaking donkey and an angel on his way to curse Israel. But he doesn't do what Balak wants him to do when he gets to the people. He literally blesses them 3 times, okay? And before he gets there, he has a conversation with the Lord as well. So let's begin our journey with this story. Verse 1, and the children of Israel sat forward and pitched in the plains of Moab on this side of Jordan by Jericho. This is where they were positioned at the time. 2, and Balak the son of Zippor saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. Okay, so that made him a little nervous about the Israelites because of what he had seen them do to the Amorites. 3, and Moab was sore afraid of the people because they were many. Yes, they were many. There were many. Just imagine when Israel came out of Egypt, just 600,000 of them were men. Okay, Totally, it was 3 million people that walked out of Egypt. 3 million. Out of that 3 million, it was 600,000 men strong. Okay? So that made them a very intimidating group to look upon. And Moab was afraid of the people because they were many. And Moab was distressed because of the children of Israel. 4. And Moab said unto the elders of Midian, Now shall this company lick up all that were round about us, as the ox licketh up the grass of the field. And Balak the son of Zippor was king of the Moabites at that time, when he was looking upon this enormously large group of people called the Israelites. So let's take it from here, from the beginning to 4. Then the Israelites traveled to the plains of Moab and camped along the Jordan across from Jericho too. Now Balak son of Zippor saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. 3. And Moab was terrified because there were so many people. Indeed, Moab was filled with dread because of the Israelites. 4. The Moabites said to the elders of Midian, This horde is going to lick up everything around us as an ox licks up the grass of the field. So far, we're doing good with this new international. Okay? So Balak, son of Zippor, who was the king of Moab at that time, 5. Sent messengers to summon Balaam, son of Beor, who was at Petron near the river in his native land. Balak said, 6. Balak said, A people has come out of Egypt. They cover the face of the land and have settled near to me. Okay, so wherever they were very, very close to where he was, because he says a people has come out of Egypt. They cover the face of the land and have settled near to me. Did I read 5 from here? No, I did not. Let's go to 5. 5 is black for sin. He sent messengers therefore unto Balaam the son of Beor to Petron, which is by the river of the land of the children of his people, to call him, saying, Behold, there is a people come out from Egypt. Behold, they cover the face of the earth, and they abide over against me. That means they abide near unto me. And that's what it says here in verse 5. It says, A people have come out of Egypt, they covered the face of the land, and have settled near to me. 6, continuing, Come now, therefore, I pray thee, curse me this people, for they are too many for me. Preadvantage I should prevail the day that we may smite them, and that I may drive them out of the land. For I wot that he whom thou blessest is blessed, but he whom thou curses is cursed. So he is saying he knows that whoever Balaam blesses is blessed, and whoever he curses is cursed. He has heard this. Okay, so let's read it from 5 to 6 here. Send messengers to summit Balaam son of Beor, who was at Petro near the river in his native land. Balak says, A people has come out of Egypt. They cover the face of the land and have settled next to me. 6. Now come and put a curse on these people, because they are too powerful for me. Perhaps then I will be able to defeat them and drive them out of the country. For I know that those you bless are blessed, and those that you curse are cursed. That's exactly the interpretation I gave you. Okay. 7 is brown for Satan. And the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed from the rewards of divination in their hand, and they came unto Balaam and spoke unto him the word of Balak. Okay, let's read that solely by itself. 7. The elders of Moab and Midian left, taking with them the fee for divination. When they came to Balaam, they told him that Balak had said, let's go to 8. 8 all the way to 14 is read for discipleship, and I'm going to read it straight away. 8, and he said unto them, lodge here this night, and I will bring you word again as the Lord shall speak unto me. And the prince of Moab abided with Balaam. So when they got to him, he says, stay here overnight, and I will see what the Lord has said unto me. And he said unto them, lodge here tonight, and I will bring you word again as the Lord shall speak unto me. And the prince of Moab abided with Balaam. 9. Ooh, sorry. 9 has also got some uppercase lettering in it. And 9 says, and God came unto Balaam. Then I tell you, God will have conversations with him at the same time that Balak is trying to encourage him to curse his people. And God came unto Balaam and said, what men are those with thee? Now those words, what men are those with thee? He's asking him a question. Who are these men that are with you? Okay. Let's read 8 and 9 from here. Let's start from 7. The elders of Moab and Media left, taking with them the fee for divination. When they came to Balaam, they told him that Balak had said, spend the night here, Balaam said to them, and I will bring you back the answer the Lord gives me. So the Moabite princes stayed with him. 9. God came to Balaam and asked, who are these men with you? Okay. 10. Well, go back to my book. And Balaam said unto God, Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent unto me, saying, 11. Behold, there is a people come out of Egypt, which cover the face of the earth. Come now, curse me them. Pre-advantage I shall be able to overcome them and drive them out. Here comes some uppercase wording in verse 12. And God said unto Balaam, here comes the uppercase wording, thou shalt not go with them. Thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed. Thou shalt not go with them. Thou shalt not curse the people. Why? Because they are blessed. These are the words that our God spoke to the prophet. Okay, let's take it from 10 to 12. Balaam said to God, Balak son of Zippor, king of Moab, send me this message. 11. A people that has come out of Egypt covered the face of the land. Now come and put a curse on them for me. Perhaps then I will be able to fight them and drive them away. 12. But God said to Balaam, do not go with them. You must not put a curse on these people because they are blessed. Okay, those were the words of our God. 13. And Balaam rose up early in the morning and said unto the princes of Balak, get you unto your land, for the Lord refuses to give me leave to go with you. This is what he said to them that very next morning. He said, and Balaam rose up early in the morning and said unto the prince of Balak, get you into your land, for the Lord refuses to give me leave to go with you. So the Lord has not allowed me to go with you. Okay, so let's read it here, 13. The next morning Balaam got up and said to Balak, princess, go back to your own country, for the Lord has refused to let me go with you. Perfect. 14, still read for discipleship. And the prince of Moab rose up, and they went to Balak and said, Balaam refuses to come with us. Let's go to 14 here. So the Moabite princes returned to Balak and said, Balaam refuses to come with us. All right. 15, 16, and 17, I will read them consecutively, and they are black for sin. And Balak sent yet another princess, more and more honorable than they. 16, and they came to Balaam and said to him, thus saith Balak the son of Zippor, let nothing, I pray thee, hinder thee from coming unto me. Ooh! He said, let nothing. That includes his God. You see that, how cocky he sounds? Let nothing. Did he not give him the message that the God of Israel has told the prophet that he could not accompany them? But he sends more honorable princes to him, And he says to him, let nothing keep thee from coming unto me. Let's read it again. And they came to Balaam and said to him, thus said Balak the son of Zippor, let nothing, I pray thee, hinder thee from coming to me. 17, for I will promote thee unto very great honor, and I will do whatsoever thou sayest unto me. Come therefore, I pray thee, curse me this people. 15 to 17, let's take it from here. Then Balak sent other princes more numerous, so there were more of them that came, and more honorable, and more distinguished than the first. 16, they came to Balaam and said, this is what Balak son of Zippor said, do not let anything keep you from coming to me. 17, because I will reward you handsomely and do whatsoever you say. Come and put a curse on these people for me. Okay. 18, 19, 20, we have some uppercase lettering, and 21 is red for discipleship. I will read them straight away. And Balaam answered and said unto the servant of Balak, if Balak will give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the words of the Lord my God to do less or more. Oh! Say it to him straight. He was doing it right so far. Okay? And I'm going to read that again, because that is how we should respond. Okay? And Balaam answered and said unto the servant of Balak, if Balak will give me his house full of silver and gold to the roof, I cannot go beyond the words of the Lord my God to do less or more. Okay, 19. Now therefore I pray you, tarry ye also here this night, that I may know what the Lord will say unto me more. Okay, what more my God has to say unto me, I will deliver to you. Stay here. Okay, 20, here comes the uppercase lettering. This is our God speaking. And God came unto Balaam at night and said unto him, if the men come to call thee, rise up and go with them. But yet the word which I should say unto thee, that shalt thou do. So God says, go with the men. But whatever words I should say unto you, that is what you should say. Okay, 8:21. And Balaam rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and went with the prince of Moab. Okay, 18 to 21 here. But Balaam answered them, even if Balak gave me his palace full with silver and gold, I could not do anything great or small to go beyond the command of the Lord my God. 19. Now stay here tonight as the others did, and I will find out what else the Lord will tell me. Okay. 20. That night God came to Balaam and said, since these men have come to summon you, go with them, but do only what I tell you. It says, say only what I say to you. Not do. Say only what I said to you. I'll read it here. And Balaam rose up early, and God came unto Balaam at night and said unto him, if the men come to call thee, rise up and go with them. But yet the words which I shall say unto thee, that shalt thou do. Okay, but here it says, that night God came to Balaam and said, since these men have come to summon you, go with them, but do only what I tell you. Means almost the same thing. I'm not too bad with that one. Okay, now don't forget we're stopping at 25. 22, 23, 24, and 25 are blue for salvation. And God's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the way of an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his two servants were with him. So he was on his donkey, and he had two servants of his own that were riding beside him. 23. And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And the ass turned aside out of the way and went into the field. And Balaam smote the ass to turn her into the way. So the ass, the donkey, saw the angel that the prophet did not see. So the ass started to move around the angel, because he saw the angel there, and he ended up walking into the field, and Balaam started to beat the donkey, trying to get the donkey back on the road. I'll read it again. And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And the ass turned aside out of the way and went into the field, and Balaam smote the ass to turn her into the way, to get her back on the path. 24. But the angel of the Lord stood in the path of the vineyard, a wall being on this side and a wall on that side. 25. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she thrust herself into the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he smote her again. So he beat her again, because the donkey clearly saw this angel with his sword to his right, to his side, and she thrusts herself against the wall, and that at that same time she takes and she crushes the leg of Balaam against the wall. So he begins to violently whip her again. Let's read it from 22 to 25. Balaam's donkey, it says here. Balaam got up in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went with the princes of Moab. 22. But God was very angry when he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the road to oppose him. Balaam was riding on his donkey, and his two servants were with him. 23. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road, with a drawn sword in his hand, she turned off the road into a field. Balaam beat her to get her back on the road. That's exactly what I say. He whipped her to get her back on the path she should be on. But she saw that angel, and she saw that sword. Okay? 25. Then the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow path between two vineyards with walls on both sides. 25. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, she pressed close to the wall, crushing Balaam's foot against it, so he beat her again. Okay. That's just a portion of this story. And as you can see, sometimes what you can't see, the beast can see. Sometimes what is not visible to our naked eye, it is visible to the beast. In the same way, if you notice and you pay attention to your world, when something is about to come down, weather-wise, and it's enormous, the first beings to disappear are the beasts. Those that can crawl under the ground, they go under the ground. Those that live in the mountains, they get deeper in the mountains. The birds disappear. The hummingbirds disappear. Any creature disappear. You go outside and you don't hear a cricket, because the animals have this ability to sense something coming. Of course, man tends to rely on the weatherman. I rely more on what I see the animals do. They're more reliable than the weatherman. Okay? And if you ever go outside on a beautiful, bright, sunny day and you don't see a bird in sight, a squirrel, nothing moving, something is wrong. Okay? So we're going to finish the rest of this story the next time. If I live and nothing happens to me, we will be hearing about the conversation that Balaam has with this donkey. It doesn't even bother the prophet that the donkey is speaking. That's how wacko this prophet is. And a lot of the servants today are exactly that. They are wacko as Balaam. Anytime you can get on the pulpit, this happened just 2017. A minister got on a pulpit, announced his wedding. He brought a man upon the pulpit and announced that this was his husband. He had our elders falling out in the church house. This was on YouTube. Somebody captured it. He had his elders falling out in the house of the Lord. So if you don't think we got wackos like Belial, we got wackos like Belial, worse than Belial, on this earth today in the Lord's house. So pay attention as we read this story, because there's a lesson in this story for all of us. For the reader and for the hearers, there is a lesson to be learned here. And let it be that you will join me again. In the meantime, thank you very much for listening to Spiritual Water. My name is Brenda Guerrero. And as always, may the peace of God be upon you. May the protection of God surround you and all those you love. And may the will of God for your life, not your own will for your life, His will for your life, may that be manifested and let you be blessed by it. And thank you and have a wonderful weekend.